I know that from my data, the moms and dads that I met in 2006, 2007, 2008, some of them had already homeschooled their children into college. So that meant they were homeschooling in the 1990s, and they reported having Black women mostly serving as their mentors. So in the Black community in Metro Atlanta in the 1990s, Black families were homeschooling. I can only speculate. For me, as an educator, that means before the No Child Left Behind got implemented in 2000, 2001, we had Black families choosing to homeschool. But I haven't interviewed. I don't know who those people, I don't know why, and I need to dive more into that. As a Black community, though, we know that we've always homeschooled. When we were denied schools, if you look at the work of James Anderson's work, Educations of Blacks in the South, we were, as newly freed African slaves, we were told we couldn't have schools, right? But we found ways to get schooled anyway. And the documentation from that came from the missionaries who came from the North. They wrote in their journals about how enthusiastic and how much we had already accomplished as newly freed people in terms of our own education. And so we did that on our own. And when we talk about homeschooling and self-agency, it's usually collective when we talk historically. It's not one person doing it for their family and keeping it to themselves. They shared those things. So those are the pieces of the history that I can tell you for sure. How it's changed just since my 2006, 2007, 2008 study. A lot of the families early on experienced resistance from within their own families. So mom, dad, who usually were educators themselves, you can't homeschool your children. Why are you doing that? You're going to mess them up. A lot of resistance from their own. When I talk to people who are homeschooling, they are hearing less of that. And it's more and more, it seems to be catching on in terms of they understand why. And even if you're not a teacher, that you could teach your own child. Especially depending on the location of where they are and what schools they have access to.